September 8th, 1900. It began with a silence. Galveston, Texas. They called it the Paris of the West. Wealthy, beautiful, arrogant. People walked the streets, unaware that death was already watching them. The ocean looked calm, but underneath, it was hungry. Isaac Klein, the Weather Bureau chief, promised they were safe. He claimed no storm could ever destroy this island. He was wrong, dead wrong. By noon, the winds whispered a warning. Can you hear it? A low hum in the distance. The tides began to rise against the wind. A physical impossibility, a freak of nature. Children played in the street water, laughing. Innocence, moments before the slaughter. The sky turned a bruised, ugly purple. Birds stopped singing. The air felt heavy, like lead. Suddenly, the telegram lines went dead. Cut off from the world. No escape. Klein drove to the beach. He saw the swells. Great gray walls of water rising like monsters. He raced back home, panic gripping his throat. "Get to high ground!" he screamed. But there was no high ground. The island was flat. 3 p.m. The water covered the island. It wasn't rain. It was the ocean claiming its territory. People retreated to their second floors. They lit candles, praying to a God who wasn't listening. Then the sun vanished. Darkness took over. The wind speed hit 100 miles per hour. Then the gauge blew away. No one knows how fast it truly went. The sound was the worst part. Not a howl, a scream, a demonic shriek of wind. Slate shingles became flying guillotines. Windows shattered. The beast was inside the house. Families held hands, trembling in the dark. Then came the battering ram. A wall of debris, houses, trams, bodies, smashing into surviving structures with the force of a bomb. The water rose 15 feet in seconds. Imagine the cold, the salt water choking you. St. Mary's Orphanage, a fortress of stone. 10 nuns, 93 children. The sisters tied the children to their waists with rope. If we die together. They sang hymns to drown out the thunder. But the sea has no mercy for the innocent. The walls groaned, the roof tore open. In 1 second, silence. The rope became a death chain. Only 3 boys survived, the rest gone. Isaac Klein's house was hit by a streetcar trestle. He watched his pregnant wife disappear into the black water. He grabbed his daughters.
He floated on wreckage. For hours, in the pitch black, listening to the dying. Screams, then gurgles, then nothing. A piano floated by, playing a discord note. A nightmare surrealism. Hell on earth. Lightning flashed, just enough to see the horror. Bodies floating face down. Neighbors, friends. The wind finally began to slow, but the damage was done.
September 9th, the sun rose on a graveyard. Galveston was gone, erased. A pile of kindling wood where a city once stood. The silence was louder than the storm. Survivors crawled out of the mud like zombies. They looked for loved ones. They found only parts. 6,000 dead? 8,000? The count stopped. There were too many. They couldn't bury them. The ground was too wet. They tried to bury them at sea. The tide brought them back. They had to burn the bodies. Huge funeral pyres. The smell of burning flesh hung over Texas for weeks. Isaac Klein survived, but he never smiled again. The Paris of the West was dead. Nature always wins. Remember that. Next time you hear the wind howl, listen closely. Is it just the wind, or is it a warning? If this story chilled your bones, hit that like button. Subscribe and ring the bell. Don't miss our next nightmare. Sweet dreams.